welcome to TalkRx with Dr. Neha. Today I have a special guest, Kay, who has been so gracious as to be willing to ask her communication question so that all of you can learn as she learns. So welcome, Kay.
Thank you very much.
It's so good to have you.
Hi.
So I would imagine this isn't something you do very often.
Never.
Can you feel your body talking to you? Is it kind of giving you any physical sensations like your heart racing, your stomach turning, anything like that?
Not right now. I think a few minutes ago before we started this, I felt more nervous.
But you feel good now?
I feel great.
Great. So, well, you're holding my book, which is adorable. Thank you. I'm wondering what your communication question is.
Well, Dr. Neha, as I know you're a doctor and you must see a lot of people that have eating disorders and alcohol issues and
like
alcohol
dependencies
yeah. Of different sorts.
Absolutely.
And I wonder if you might shed some light on how I could handle. I have some loved ones in my life that have these issues and love them very much, and I'm really concerned about what I could do if it all helped them and at the same time help myself, and how I could communicate with them. If maybe you could, shed some light on that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say that's a really tough one, because what you're talking about is something that you don't actually have control over. True?
Exactly.
And what have you done to learn so far about how to handle that? Have you?
Well, I have attended Al-Anon for many, many years.
Okay.
And alcoholism has been in my family since I was a child.
Generations.
And I know it's a generational disease. And I know it's a disease.
Yeah.
And so I've been very involved in that.
Yep.
And but yet it's still, there's still a dilemma on how to communicate or how not to communicate and what is proper for everybody. Involved, including myself.
So are you finding that your relationships with these loved ones is becoming more distant because of this? Like, do you feel like you can't talk to them about certain things, or they see you as, oh gosh, when they are talking to you, it's going to be about trying to figure out how to stop all this stuff?
I find it both becoming more distant and also more enmeshed. On my part, my feeling more panicked to get involved, concerned about their health especially.
You're feeling a sense of urgency.
Yes.
And at the same time, you're feeling them like letting go, like kind of moving a little bit away.
Yes.
And then you're chasing that. Okay.
Yes.
Now this is going to be a really simple example when we were little. But if you ever liked a boy, right? You ever liked a boy when we were growing up, and the more you liked them, what did they do? They're like not interested, not interested. And then all of a sudden when you're like, you know what? I've had enough of this. I don't want this anymore.
Exactly.
They're interested.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to you?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So the human nature piece of this.
Yeah.
Now, what you're talking about is something really serious. What you're talking about is a health issue and also a disease, right? It's like, it can be hereditary. There's so many causes. But at the bottom of what's happening is a numbing strategy. So you know how at the top of this video, I asked you, what were the physical sensations you were feeling in your body? Do you remember when I asked you that? So oftentimes what I find is that when there's some sort of pain or some sort of loss in someone's life, some sort of tragedy, them feeling not heard, not seen, not valued, not connected, they don't belong, some version of that.
Yes.
Even though parents are raising us and doing the best job they know how with what they know at the time, life happens.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so when someone develops one of these issues, it's often because they're trying to fill something inside themselves. But the way that I say it is, well, I'm just going to make up an example. So for me, when I don't feel connected, or I don't feel loved, I have my set of food strategies that make me feel comfort and love. Do you know what I'm talking about? And even though it's just for a minute and it's sliding down my throat and then it's gone, there's that momentary hit of me feeling those things, right? So I'm going to talk first about how addiction is often, let's say that what I long for is love. There are not enough chocolate chip brownies in the world to give me love, because love is on a different level, right? Yeah. And so the infinity loop begins. There's not enough alcohol to numb me out of not feeling unloved. It's happening on a different level. It's actually not on this level. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the addiction itself is about something underneath that is unfulfilled. And what the addiction is doing is a short-term coping strategy to get me through the moment, right? Over and over again. So when you're asking somebody to stop drinking, or you're trying to get them to stop, using food as a way to control their body, or whatever the situation is, that's not the level on which it's happening. Does that make sense?
Yes.
This person, until this is healed underneath, can't stop this strategy, because this strategy is allowing them to survive. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now let's talk about you, okay, your part in this, because you're saying it's really hard for me. Like, I'm getting more and more anxious and they're getting farther and farther away.
Yes.
The first rule is you can't want for another. As desperately as you might try to want for somebody else, it's actually not even possible, okay? Let's say, I'm going to make this up.
Yeah.
I don't know you well enough to know this, but I'm going to make it up and say, we're going to imagine that you have a crazy temper. Like, you blow up anytime something isn't happening. But we're making that up, right? If what I did was really want to connect to you, and I really want you to lose that temper. Just lose the temper and we can connect. How many lifetimes am I going to be waiting for that to happen? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
This might be your journey in this lifetime to express yourself and actually have a temper, and that's one of the ways that you express yourself. I am now saying, I want you to change so that we can connect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my father has a temper. So that's why that one came to me pretty clearly. And I used to say, I don't have a relationship with him, but I would if he learned how to manage his temper better. But what I realized was, it was about me learning how to respond in the face of a temper that needed to be learned.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about this situation where people you love are going through this struggle, what is it that you need to learn to show up in this place and support them through whatever it is they're going through? Because this is their journey.
Yes.
This isn't your journey. You don't get to control their journey. You get to say, I love you, and I am going to support you in whatever your journey is. Do you feel that letting go?
Yes.
Peace? I want you to turn to page 303 and tell me what nearly the last chapter in this book, the title of it is. 303.
Getting there.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. 303, surrender. Oh my gosh. Surrender, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's such a like almost airy-fairy concept.
Yeah.
It feels like what we're going to do is lose control. But the truth is, even after you learn every tool in this book, can you read just the opening paragraph?
One final thought. Even if you use everything you've learned, diligently complete the exercises and apply all the tools of the I-5 conversation, other factors are at play. When you attempt to engage with those around you, you can't force someone else's readiness. You can't make another person listen or change. As hard as you may try, you can't want for another. Despite your accountability and curiosity, you may discover that you and someone else have grown apart or that there is no overlap in your desires. As a result, the outcome of a well-constructed conversation may not be what you wish for, envision, or anticipate.
So I don't think that's the case for you. The part where I think you have no overlap. I actually think that the beginning of that is very true. And I think that what it is what you want in however much time you have with either or any of these people, to spend it connected to them.
Of course.
And so what if counterintuitively the trick was that you allowed them to be where they were and you loved them on this journey?
Yes.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
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 That's the part. And it sounds something like this. I'm going to say it to you. I'll just give you some words around what it might sound like.
Yes.
Hey, Kay. So if I was saying this to you. Hey, Kay. I noticed that there's been a way. So I went to Hay House this weekend. I went to this weekend workshop and I learned about communication and how I'm showing up in our relationship and how it's not really working. And I've learned some things about myself that I think could help us have a stronger relationship. Could we talk for 15 minutes and I share those with you? When's a good time for you? So then they get to say, is now, let's say they say now. Now's a good time.
Okay, yeah.
So I'd say, well, thank you so much. I just noticed that there's this part of me that wants to save you.
Yes.
There's this role inside me as a mother. Are you a mother?
Yes.
As a mother, like nurturing. It's like instinct. And I want to save you. But you know what I'm doing when I try to do that? I'm making the fundamental assumption that you are not strong and capable and resourceful and creative. And I'm acting like you need me to save you.
Yeah.
And what I really have learned is there's a way that I find value and have a role by being the one to try and save you. It's a noble cause. Except what I'm feeling is distance between us.
Yeah.
That the harder I try, the less close we feel in our, I feel in our relationship. Do you experience that?
Yeah.
And what I want you to know is that as hard as this is going to be for me, and I might not do it perfect, I'm reading this book, right? I'm going to learn some new tools, and I'm wondering if you could give me feedback on what's working and not working in our relationship. And maybe we could do like a take two.
I see.
You know, like a take two in the movies?
Yeah, yeah.
Why can't we do one?
Yeah.
Let's do one in our relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how was that for you?
Yes, it's more freeing.
You feel free.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more freeing that there's nothing I can do but to have compassion and love and love them.
Well, there's a lot you can do, but what you're doing is you're focusing on what you want with them.
Yeah.
And you're focusing on how you show up in the relationship instead of trying to make somebody else change so that your world is better.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
And then there's also a fundamental level of self-trust, which is if something happens that is not desirable, right? If someone gets hospitalized, if they don't do well, right? That you trust that you can handle what comes next for you. Instead of trying to control the outside environment, to make it all safe for you.
Yeah.
And that's a different level of self-trust. Yeah? So it's amazing, right? We try so hard to keep control, but letting go actually gives us the freedom and the ability to connect and actually get what we want with people.
Yes.
Yeah? Was this helpful?
Yeah. It certainly is. Thank you so much.
Yes, and what I can't wait to hear, I would love you to email me and let me know how it's going.
Okay, thank you very much.
Great.
Okay.
So if any of you are struggling because there's someone or something in your life that you just wish would be different so that you could live the life that you want, I've got a message for you today, which is it only takes one person to change the outcome of any conversation, and that person is you.